Hola y bienvenidos a la previa número 41. WhatsApp, David.
WhatsApp, Pedro. Volvemos a las entrevistas, volvemos a entrevistas en inglés. Y hoy nos ponemos de nuevo nerviosos porque puede ser que entrevistemos al jugador de baloncesto que al menos está compitiendo en más nivel de los que hemos entrevistado hasta ahora.
Sí, la verdad es que da respeto entrevistar a alguien que está jugando en la Euroliga, que,
Sí.
que está jugando en uno de los grandes equipos de Europa y que para nosotros lo tenemos en nuestro corazoncito porque es uno de los héroes de la permanencia del Covirán Granada el año pasado. Y aunque para mí hoy cambio de escenario, vuelvo, es como los Rolling Stones, después de estar un tiempo sin hacer gira, vuelvo a salir de gira.
La,
eh,
ver-
pero
la verdad es que estás más o menos, tú estás en el mismo estado que Mick Jagger, más o menos.
Lo único problema es que tengo 50 años menos.
Ya lo próximo va a ser entrevistar a Jokic, MVP de la NBA.
Exactamente. Y sin más dilación, ¿a quién traemos hoy la previa, David?
Pues me pongo nervioso nada más que decirlo, pero hoy viene la previa Joe Thomasson.
So we are here. I don't think anybody needs introductions, but I'm going to introduce our guest of honor today. So we have with us Joe Thomasson, American professional player. Not because we are happy about it, but currently player of the Maccabi Tel Aviv, former player of Granada. When we were preparing this interview and we will talk about it, the amount of countries he have been working or playing, it's really impressive. But we will come into it. Welcome to La Previa, Joe, and thank you for the time that you're dedicating to us. We know it's a free day for you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the introduction.
Okay, then let's start with your current situation. How is the life in Israel? How have you and your family landed in this new adventure for you?
Honestly, the life is great. I know we're actively in a war, and things seem on the outside a little bit difficult. But honestly, I'm sitting on my balcony right now, just looking over Israel, and it's a beautiful place to be. The weather is beautiful. The people are calm. I can't. I can't complain at all. Life is good right now for me and my family. My family's adapting. No complaints at all. Only blessings.
That's fantastic. So, how this is gonna work? We usually start a little bit. We are more interested about the profiles than the sport itself. So we brought Petinian that you were working. We were playing with him last year because of his story. We brought as well Brofle because of his story. And we love your background. We know you're a fantastic player. We will come to that, but at the beginning, we like to know a little bit more about you. So you come out of Ohio. You are talented. That you can see that you are naturally talented. But how did you started playing, and why basketball, and how it came to you? It came naturally, or it's something that is starting to grow in you?
Honestly, it came naturally. Like, I never wanted to play another sport. I never had aspirations of playing another sport. Basketball was always my first love, and it turned out to be my only love. I never tried another sport. I always knew I wanted to play ball. So, you know, I, I would play like little football games, American football, try to play baseball in my neighborhood, but I didn't get that joy, the same joy that I get out of basketball and those other sports. So, for me, it was an easy choice. A lot of people say don't put all your eggs into one basket, because if you drop the basket, then you might fail, or you might have to change over to do something else. But me, it was a no brainer. I put all my eggs into basketball. I never got sidetracked, and I just stayed focused on the course. And it took me a long way.
Well, you came from United States. And one of the main difference between European and American basketball resides in the formative phase. Yeah. More particularly, the difference between being a professional player or in a professional team development program, or in case of America, joining to a university team and playing in the NCAA.
I would rather prefer the European lifestyle because in college, I mean, all you're doing is preparing yourself for the pros. As a
Mhm.
year, you can be a pro at the age of 14, 15. I had a point guard from the he plays for Mercia, Luda Hackerson. He told me he became pro at like 15, 16 years old. You know what I mean? Versus going to college. If you know you want to play basketball or you know you want to play football or something like that, and you have the passion for it, and you have the will and you have the faith to pursue that dream, why not turn pro at a younger age? I just feel like it gives them the advantage. You know what I mean? College is great, but all it's doing is preparing you for the pros. And honestly, some colleges they deteriorate you from being a pro. You know what I mean? They put this narrative in your head that it's only this percent that make it overseas. It's only this percent that make it to the NBA. So you kind of get this narrative in your head like, well, I probably don't have a good chance of making it because my coach say after this, I'm going to have to get a job, this, that, and the third. But you 15, 16 years old, all you know is basketball. That you eat, sleep, and breathe basketball. So I think that they kind of have the advantage, and I like the European lifestyle. I do. You know what I mean? Making it to where kids have to go to college in the United States. I understand why they do it, but like I said, I agree with the European lifestyle, turning pro at whatever age you want, if that's what you know you want to pursue in
Yeah,
life.
that's something we I was watching the other day ESPN, and they were talking about the last five, six MVPs in the NBA are European or coming from European home, and they were talking in particularly about the NCAA and even the recent players that are coming from Europe, they're coming from playing pro since they are 16 or 14, and they were talking about Luca's case. Like he has joined NBA more or less at the same age that directly coming from the NBA, but when you have been defended by guys like you at an
Exactly.
early age, not with the equivalent of you in the NCAA, about being defended by Joe Thomasson at age 16 or 17, that elevates your game, you know. And they were talking like it's an unfair comparison.
Definitely, it definitely elevates your game because first of all, in your mind, you know that you're a pro now, so you have to do whatever it takes to reach the highest level. College, you're still trying to become a pro, so
Yeah,
you don't, you know what I mean. You're still going to classes. You might have a little social life, but you're still trying to figure it out. At the age of 15, 16, you know what I mean. You have a routine schedule. You know what it takes. You don't know what it takes, but you're working towards that. So it's just different. It's just different. I don't knock either system, but like I said, I prefer the European system. It's
it's different indeed.
theoretically it's a good system to follow. I do. You know what I mean? You got Giannis that come from overseas. You got Jokic. You know what I mean? You got all these guys. They never went to college. They never thought about going to college. They went straight from playing professional straight to the NBA. So or to Euro League or to whatever league they did to get to wherever they wanted to be is steps that they needed to take.
Yeah. So as preparation for the interview, I asked my American colleagues in the firma, in the company, could you, if I will give you a European map, will you be able to locate Romania? And no one of them knew where Romania was. So you might see where the next question is going. So when we were, Elisor is a player that played the year before you arrived to Granada. He played many years in Portugal, and he's now in Iceland, and as well with roughly how this phase is when you finish NCAA and your agent, or I don't know which method you got to get into Romania. You have been in Poland, in Romania, but that particular first step, how was that process? How do you get into Romania? And in your mind, did you know even where Romania was in the map?
Honestly, I had no idea what. Romania was. I had no idea about overseas basketball. Honestly, you know what I mean. I'm from Dayton, Ohio. We don't. Our culture isn't. They don't teach us about Spain. They don't teach us about Greece. They don't teach us about Russia. They don't teach us about all these different leagues that you have to express yourself. That's high level basketball. They don't. It's the NBA or it's nothing. You know what I mean? So in that situation, after my senior year of college, I had a great senior run. It could have been better, but I don't want to talk about that right now. I had a great senior run, and I had agents calling me, pursuing me to become their clients. So I'm young, I'm inexperienced, I don't really know too much about the business. I picked the best agent that I thought that fits me, who I am as a person, and I thought who could get me to where I wanted to be. So, long story short, I ended up signing with an agent. He was okay at the time, but I think he downplayed my talents a little bit. And he got me a job in Romania, which is cool because it's an opportunity. All a player or a person ever needs in life is really an opportunity to get to the next step. So I took advantage of that opportunity. In 1 month in that season, I'm calling my wife every day, like, can't do this. Just from the food to the culture to the organization, it was just not a good fit for what I thought for myself, honestly. So I told my agent at the time, put my name in the NBA G League draft, and let's just see what happens.
And
After that,
then,
after that happened, I got drafted in the second round in the NBA G League, early in the round to the main Red Claws. So at that time in Romania, I was low level. You know what I mean? Like as a player and as an organization, it was my first year. So I'm going basically off of faith. Like I'm going there with the mentality of kill this season so I can get to where I want to be the next season. That was my whole mentality. And I never really thought about the things in between, like the living, the food, the people. I never thought about that. It was just go there and play basketball and be the best that I could be. But once I got there, bro, it was a completely culture shock. Like, what are we doing for breakfast? I can't eat this. Like, I never ate this in my life. You know what I mean? So for me to go there and to try something new, and my stomach is hurting from the first day of it. The second day of it, I'm damn near throwing up. The third day, I'm dying. You know what I mean? So it's like I can't continue up with this. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But as I've got older and I became more professional and I've got more seasoned and traveled around different countries, and I've earned a little bit more income, I have the abilities to eat what I want to eat and go where I want to go. You know what I mean? To stick
yep.
with the habits that I like to do. So honestly, I like to be within my comfort zone. I don't really like trying too much new things if I'm not a fan of it. Like I'm not. I'm true to myself. Is what I'm trying to say.
Hmm. Well, and as we said, you have been playing in several countries in Romania and Poland, Israel, Russia, Greece,
Yeah.
Spain, and all of them with a lot of particularities in basketball and also in family terms.
Yes.
Where did you feel more like home, and where did you play your best basketball?
Well, where I feel most home, and that's an easy question. Spain. Spain is Spain. All right, that's my baby right there. That's that. You just asked me a question, and my boy was born in Spain. So for me, Spain will be always in my heart. As far as being family oriented, just raising a family, I will prefer Spain. But all my other countries have been amazing as well. You know what I mean? All of them bring different things to the table. A lot of people think that Russia is a bad place to go play basketball, but Russia was a great place for my children to go to school, get an education, the living, you know what I mean, and the basketball. Here in Israel, we've been here before, but we never lived in Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv is unbelievable. Um, it's just so much of a vibe. Like every day it brings something different. You really never know. Stop, man. Got three of them, so it's a constant battle with that. With my 2 year old that's from Mirasa. But I love all the places that I've got to be able to play at. I'm thankful for all the experiences. I really am. Greece was wonderful. They took care of me there. I stayed right across the street from the Mediterranean Sea. Um, but I would say that my favorite place so far, this for my career, I would say Manresa.
Reza.
Mhm.
Manresa was wonderful to me because it's special to me. I have my son there. You know what I mean? It's different to me. Granada is special to me too. What we got to be able to accomplish there and achieve there. The whole Spanish culture, I just love it. I do. I really do.
I will come now a little bit tougher questions. Not too tough, but I have. So, as I told you, we are supporters of Granada. I have huge respect for the organization,
Okay.
but I find that you brought up a level of I don't
Hey,
want to say professionalism, but demands and especially we need to reach this level. You elevated the
yes.
club to think on more than we just need to remain in ACV. So you elevated the status and you expected more from the team. Um, the club is amazing. It's a club that started 11 years ago, but that was visible last year when you came that game against Sevilla, against Betis, and how you elevated the game, how you expressed yourself to the media early on in the year. Um, I think that despite your enormous talent, basketball talent, what the team lost the most was that competitive spirit and expectations to be better, and that was obvious in the game when you came to a team like last year, which
I
was beaten
I agree
down.
with you.
Yeah, when you we was beaten down with Felicio half of the league out, did you feel like you have to elevate the demands and elevate the expectations from the club? And how was that transition to this year?
So I don't want to speak too fast. You know what I mean? That's one thing I learned. Speaking too fast is not a good thing. So I'm trying to contemplate the question and take it in so I can answer it the best way. I think Granada is an excellent place. A place where you can go there and showcase your talent. A place you can go there and grow. A place that you can go there and ultimately become the best version of yourself. I wish that Granada had, because at the end of the season, you see that Granada for the last 2 seasons, they don't hesitate to bring in reinforcement. You know what I mean? Like if they feel like they're going to get relegated or they're on the verge of a losing season, they bring in reinforcement immediately. I just wish that at the beginning of the season, they would have that same urgency. And I think that's the difference between a high level team and a low level team. The high level teams, they don't hesitate to bring in the players that they need to get the job done. They don't take shortcuts with signing a cheaper player. They go get the players they need to get the job done, to execute what needs to be done. You know what I mean? To not only stay in the ACB, but to thrive in the ACB. And for me, I love the new signings that they have with Jacob and Elias and Will. You know what I mean? Like they brung these guys in with the quickness, with the hope of not getting relegated. I just feel like if we would have signed those guys at the beginning of the season, then things would be different. It would be a lot different.
Mhm.
I totally
Nice.
agree. I totally agree.
Yes.
And believe me
You know
that
what I
Mhm.
just
it,
trying to be just trying to say it the best way possible. I wish they would have brought Thomas. I wish I would have got a chance to play with Thomas this season.
Mhm.
he wished that as well. We in the interview we made with him, he was talking that you complement each other really
Yeah,
well because you are faster than he is. You were opening a lot of space for him, and we have talked about this, David and I, several times. We believe the
Yeah.
best game that Thomas Rople played in Granada was the game against Betis because of how much space you were given to him
Yes. And
and
both of
how
you are playing together.
exactly
Not
and
only not only bet this. Let's not forget about Badalona.
exactly.
Let's not forget about Zaragoza when we was losing by 18 points and Thomas put us on his back and I just came through to make the shots when he needed me to. You know what I mean? Like, I really wish I would have got another chance to play with Thomas. Like, we complimented each other very well. I asked the organization, what about Thomas? I asked Thomas, what was he doing? He told me that they didn't even make an offer for him. So when I heard that, you know what I mean? It kind of hurt my feelings, but I trusted the organization. I didn't question it. That's not my job as a player. You know what I mean? So I wish personally I would have got another chance to play with him because we complimented each other really well. He knew the system. He helped me out a lot in them 4 games that I came to at the end of the season. So he was really not only a great teammate, but he was a hell of a person, first off. You know what I mean? Made me feel welcome. All of the guys made me feel welcome, but especially him. You know what I mean? That was my roommate on the road. So, it would be times where we in a room just talking about the sets where, like, Joe, if you do this, then I'm going to do this. Or Thomas, if you do this, this is where I like the ball. And I'm sorry. I just want to give Thomas his credit. I said a lot of those games that we won last year at the end of the season, it wasn't all in particular on me. A lot of that was because of Thomas and because of Luke May as well. Those guys, they put me in position to where all I had to do was go in and make the big shots, which was easy for me because I've been prepared for that my whole life to make those shots. But if it wasn't for those guys, we would never have survived relegation last season. Shouts out to Luke, shouts out to Thomas because those guys really made me feel comfortable and they put an understanding in me that, just go out there and be yourself. And Alex Winthrow as well. Sorry, Alex.
The
Yeah,
gentleman. We call him the gentleman. He's a basketball gentleman.
I love death.
Yes. Well, as we are talking, we are Granada fans, and we had the fortune to interview several players like Brople, Petiniano, Elisor. We did them the same question, and I follow the same question for you. So, how is Pablo being as a coach, and how was your relationship with him?
So you tell me what you think of Pablo as a coach. You've been there you from Granada. He's been there 8 years. You tell me your thoughts, and then I tell you mine.
I can answer that. So from our end, uh, it's undeniable that Pablo is the foundation of this club. There was nothing. They were nothing. It was a blank paper, and they started to write story. And they have been here, and they created the team with his brother and with his friends, and they have brought the team to where it is today, and that's undeniable. Now, uh, we are we have been critical with the situation of the club and the public facing figures and what is said in public. That it should be a little bit more professional in the sense that they should be controlled. Not everything need to go to the press conference. And that's the only thing that we have been clear, like a little bit like from outside. We cannot judge basketball if he's a better technical coach or whatever, because we are not basketball players. But beyond that, we are huge fans of Pablo. We think we will not be here without him. And we are only thankful for the work that him and the rest of the organization has been doing for Granada.
Okay. Okay. I thank you for sharing that with me. Now, my perspective on Pablo is that Pablo is a player's coach. As a player, I love playing for Pablo because I knew what I would get from him every single day. I knew what he would. I knew that he was dedicated, he was motivated, and he wasn't going to cheat the grind. You know what I mean? Pablo was one of the most purest motivators I've ever played for. We could win by 20, and dude, we can lose by 30. And Pablo's going to come in that locker room with the mentality of how to get better. not pointing fingers at the players, not pointing fingers at the staff, not pointing fingers at itself, but just taking responsibility as the coach and finding a way to motivate his players to come in and be the best that they can be himself. Pablo Penn, um, and I told him this, and he's not going to feel when he sees this or hears this, he's not going to be shocked or he's not going to be like, oh, I can't believe he said that. I told Pablo, I said, listen, coach, in his office, me and him, I said, coach, you need to be meaner. You need to be more. You need to be more of a disciplinarian to the team. You need to hold guys more accountable because that's the only way that we gonna take Granada from a low level to a mid level to the highest level. That's the only way you're gonna do that. You got to make your players respect you. One day Pablo came into practice. We had a great week in practice. We had a great week in practice. I think we went out there and we beat a team. We beat the hell out of a team this season because of Pablo. We had a great week in practice, and I told him after the game. I said, Coach, as we were shaking hands going through the line, I said, Coach, in his ear, Coach, that's what a week of practice do for us. A real week of preparation, that's what it do for us. Pablo came in there the next day and said, "Listen, we gonna prepare the same way we did last week, this week, and if you don't like it, deal with it."
Mm.
We went out there and we competed. You know what I mean? A lot of the games this year in Granada came down to last minute, last second decisions. You know what I mean? Like they're still playing right now. I'm in a whole nother country on a whole nother team, but I remember vividly versus Mercy in the first game of the season. I remember vividly versus Baxi Manresa when Marcis made the three. I remember when we lost in Juventud when we was winning by 15 points at halftime. I remember these. I remember you gotta think like I was the head soldier that was in front of the line. Like I remember these games. Like when they got 6 wins right now, we've lost 6 games at the end, the last 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
So just that little bit of that little bit of more discipline from Pablo, I feel like will take his organization from a mid major to a high level, and I have no doubts about it. Pablo, he's very intelligent. He knows his basketball. He's young. Like I said, he's a player's coach. He's not a coach that's a dictator that's going to go in there and kill you and tell you you have to do this or you have to do that. Pablo is a coach that tells his players to take risks. If you feel like you can get a steal on your man or you feel like you have the advantage, take that risk. You know what I mean? Be that player. And that's what I love most about Pablo because he allowed me to express myself in a way where I couldn't be denied. You know what I mean? Like it was hard for me not to give my all to Pablo because he gave his all to me and he let me be who I am. He never wanted me to be somebody else.
That's fantastic. From our end, we have talked several times with him, and I think we love to watch his pre-games interviews and all of that because he's a maestro of that. But lately, I don't know if it's because of the nerves of another season in the line or what's going on that he has been more nervous in the press releases, and we have been generally in the public commenting like what's going on. He's been more nervous and um, more
It's natural.
aggressive to the statement. So I think it's being in the line is not easy, and as a company, as a team, as a group. So I guess for him is really really hard. But you brought something up that it was the next question we had prepared. So because of my wife's company, that day I was in the seats by court in that last defense against Manresa when unfortunately for us you fault out with 5 faults at the end of the fourth quarter. I believe like you, if you will have been in the court, we will not have lost that game, as you mentioned in the post game. But then for us, that loss was brutal. But even more
Yes.
brutal was the press release the following day that you were in negotiations to leave to Israel. So uh, we knew because it was in the press that you have that inter contract. How was that for you? Because you have shared like this level of like I was implication in the team. How was that week for you? Like, what was the mentality that you were taking that call from Tel Aviv?
It wasn't a week. That's first off. It wasn't a week. I got the call from my agent the day after Miressa, maybe that same night. You know what I mean? Because honestly, I had just told my agent like I just play like shit. You know what I mean? Like the referees, I fouled out of the game. I'm frustrated. So for me to get a call like that, it's just like, are you serious right now? You know what I mean? So a lot of people think that I was already in negotiations with these teams. No idea. You know, that's my agent's job to handle that. I knew I had a buyout in my contract, and that was my goal to get that buyout. But at that in particular time, I'm at home with my wife and my children, just relaxing. My agent say, call me immediately. Call him, and you know, I think the deadline. I think he played on like Saturday. It was Sunday. I talked to Israel Sunday night. You know, we had a great conversation, but it's probably 30 minutes left in the practice. Pablo called Oscar, the boss, our boss. I love Oscar to death. Shout out Oscar. Oscar walks in the gym, nice suit on, all black, hair back. You know what I mean? Looking like the boss that he is. He walked in there, the boss, the CEO of the team. He walks into practice, he talks to Pablo, he whispers something in his ear. We don't know what's going on. Pablo tells me, Joe, come here. I'm like, what's up, coach? He like, go sit down. That's what he told me. I said, go sit down. I'm like, coach, we don't play again this Sunday. It's Monday. I'm fine. Like, I don't need a rest right now. You know what I mean? We just lost to Miressa. I'm frustrated. I need to practice. He said, Maccabi Tel Aviv just bought you out your contract. I say, I don't say nothing. I go sit down. Like, whoa, like so now all my teammates, Quan Cheatham, Christian Felicio, everybody's asking me, Joe, what's wrong with you? Like, you good? Like, what's going on? In my head, I'm thinking like, I'm gonna talk to y'all afterwards. I'm gonna let you guys, cause you know what I mean. I don't want them to know, and it just spreads quickly without me being able to tell my teammates what's going on. Cause it was new to me. I haven't even had spoke with my agent at that point. Pablo had just told me I didn't sign the contract. The last time I talked to Maccabi told me maybe, you know, they would let me know soon. I guess while I was in practice, they called the coach. They gave, you know what I mean? I mean, not the coach. They called Oscar. Oscar spoke with them, and they came up with the agreement, the mutual agreement that was in the contract for the buyout, and it happened then. So I immediately called my agent as soon as practice was over with. I went home, and I think I had like 48 hours. I think I had like 24 hours to say yes or no. And for me, it was like as much as I did for Granada, I love Granada, I love this place, but I've done everything that I needed to do to get to this point in my life. You
Yeah.
know, so for me, just selfishly me, you know what I mean? It was a no-brainer to come to a EuroLeague team in the middle of the season, to put a buyout in my contract in July, and to fulfill that, have that faith.
Mm.
It's like, you know what I mean? You did that. Not many people can say that. Not many people can say they reached their goal, and I can honestly say that, you know, God allowed me to reach my goal. Without him, I wouldn't have got to where I got to. It was a lot of days where I was sad, I was angry, I was frustrated because Granada was losing, and I couldn't understand why, because I never cheated the grind. I was always one of the first people in practice. I was always one of the last ones to leave. I was putting the work in with my favorite assistant coach, Arturo. We was grinding every single day, you know, with the mentality of let's get to the Euro League, let's get to the Euro League, let's get to the Euro League. So when I finally got that call, it was just like it was surreal to me. I couldn't hold it back. Like it was tears of joy. You know what I mean? Like it was really excitement.
I think that often the fans forget this. They have a complete disconnection on the fact that in any private life situation, they will understand you going to a managing director, a better position. But for professional athletes, it's somehow like the fans take the heart instead of the mind and the head, you know. And and it's hard to for them to understand. Like, man, this guy is getting one of the historic teams in Europe, and you think that a possibility like this, you can get injured tomorrow in professional sport. This is a train that might only pass once. So we fully understand, and we are extremely grateful of your all what you did for Granada. So from our end, congratulations on this great opportunity. And with that, now we have a couple of short questions before the last one. We always ask the professional players who is the best player you have played with and the toughest defender you have faced.
The best player I play. Well, we just gonna keep it at Granada. You know what I mean? Because I've had some amazing teammates. And I have some right now, currently. You know what I mean? Right now, I got a Euro League player on my team. He's probably going to be the Euro League MVP and Wade Baldwin. I got Lorenzo Brown. I got Josh Nebo. I got my whole team here that's phenomenal. You know what I mean? Johnny D, our team captain, our Israeli captain. It's just unbelievable. And Maressa, I have so many different players. You know what I mean? Like that I've played with that I'm grateful that I will forever be able to say that's my teammate. You know what I mean? And all of these guys that I mentioned in between Chima and Young Kubasima and Cisco, you know what I mean? I gotta put Luke May. I gotta talk about Louise Costas. I gotta talk about Big Chris. I gotta talk about Quan Cheatham. You know what I mean? I've had so many great teammates, even in Russia. You know what I mean? With Trey Tompkins, I just Caleb Holmesley, Thomas Wimbush. Like the list can keep going on and on. So I wouldn't say that I've had one in particular favorite teammate or great teammate because I've had a bunch of them, and I'm grateful for all of them because I've learned different things from all of them, and we've all made each other better. You know what I mean? And that's real. Um, but what was the other question that you asked
Who
me?
is the toughest defender you have faced? That somebody that you say, I will pay, then I don't need to face that guy again.
Who made it tough on me? It's a lot of people that made it tough on me, but they can't conquer me because I'm not going for it. You know what I mean? Like I just got this will in me. Like it doesn't matter how good of a defender you are, you're not gonna ice me out of the game. Like whether I'm scoring points or I'm getting assists or I'm playmaking, I just won't be denied. And that's one thing I love about myself. But if I had to give one defender credit, I would say the hardest person that I've had to face in my life so far up to this point would be myself.
That's an
I,
interesting question answer, huh?
because like I'm the only person I feel like that can take me out of my element. I'm the only person that I feel like that can stop myself. There's no coverage that can stop me. There's no defense that can stop me. It's things that can contain me, that can slow me down. Yes, but at some point in time, whether I make one shot or I make the game winning shot, I'm gonna be at I'm gonna be there on that court. You know what I mean? My presence will be felt. So I give credit to all of my teammates, but I don't really give credit to a lot of defenders because a lot of defenders they don't really guard one on one. They play team defense, and in the ACB, that's what it's all about. It's about strategy, it's about game planning, and it's about executing. That's why the ACB is the best domestic league in the world because it's not about one on one. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
1-on-5. So the hardest team that I've had to play against so far this season. Um, I would say one of the hardest teams this season that I've had to play against because he knows me very well. He knows what I like and what I don't like was Baxi Manresa. They switched on me. They was physical on me. Coach, he sent doubles at me. You know what I mean? So I give a lot of credit to Pedro Martinez. He when I played against him that second game in Granada, I would say that they guarded me well. Trevante Williams, I give him his credit. Trevante. I give them his credit.
Okay, let's go with the last question about your current situation. How do you see the end of the season, the EuroLeague play-in, the Israel League where you are first? How was been the experience playing with Georgia? So how do you see the end of the season?
I'm gonna start with the last question that you asked me because it's fresh, right? Georgia is unbelievable. Playing the song, playing alongside of one of the greats in the Euro League at the forward position, Toko Shangalia, is unbelievable. The whole culture of Georgia, I was super shocked and surprised just about the people, the culture, the food, the languages, everything there is like it fits me. You know what I mean? The fans are amazing. Hopefully, I can go over there and help them qualify for the Olympics, qualify for the Eurobasket, and I'm definitely grateful for that opportunity that they gave me. Um, it's been nothing but love from them since I got there. Like I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that small window that we had with each other. I'm looking forward to getting out there this summer and getting to work with those guys immediately. After we win the championship here in Maccabi, uh, I plan on, you know what I mean. Like I'm not a player. I'm not a person that shoots for small dreams. I have big goals and big ambition uh, for myself and the people that I represent. You know what I mean, and for the people that represent me. You know what I mean. I want to be the champion of Israel. I got to the championship here a couple years ago. I couldn't finish the job. We lost some Maccabi in the championship, and look, 3 years later, Maccabi they offered me to come here to help them win a championship. So the Israeli championship, it will be tough, but I think that me and my guys will be locked in and we will be committed to the grind. And I think that we will get that done. That's a big accomplishment of all our goals because my coach and majority of my team was here last year. They won the championship last year. So, you know what I mean? It's already some talks on winning it back to back. And I want to be a part of that. I do. I want to be a part of that group that say that they won championships back to back here in Israel because the fan base here is unbelievable. The people here in Israel are unbelievable. They're super kind. They're super lovable. And I want to do that for the myself first and the team. You know what I mean? And the culture for this country. As far as the Euro League, it's a big game tonight between Baskonia and Badalona. Right now, we just waiting to see who we gonna match up with, and I got full confidence in my guys. Since I've been here, we've won 19 out of 20 or 18 out of 19. We won one of those. We only lost one game. We lost to Barca with Laporito when he hit the game winner versus. So since I've been here, we've been almost perfect, and I would like to continue that. You know what I mean? I really would. I think that my guys are focused. They're locked in. My coaching staff, they're wonderful. The management is wonderful. And I think that my teammates, we come in, we have a sense of urgency of getting things done. And um, watch out for Maccabi. Yalla.
We will be, and we just wanna use the opportunity. We don't have the opportunity many times to thank people in life in general. People don't are not grateful. They always think about what happened last, and not the journey. And from our end, we want to thank you for everything you did in Granada. You definitely elevated the level. You elevated the ambition. I totally agree with you that this team, and we talked with Andrea Pecile a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
and he was saying exactly the same that you did. That you said like, hey, we need to elevate the level. This is a fantastic place to play for players, but it's time to elevate the demands and the requests to the players.
Yeah.
So from La Previa, which we are two engineers working in in engineering, but totally crazy about basketball. We want to thank you for your time here. We know you have a busy schedule, big family man, and wish you all the best. We hope. Myself, I will be happy that Maccabi will win the EuroLeague. David is a Real Madrid fan, so that
Yeah.
part might be in conflict for him. But we want to thank you for everything you did in Granada. I hope that your family had an amazing time here, and that you can come back anytime you want. You always will be welcome here.
From my side, it was absolutely a pleasure talk with you during 51 hour. At the same time, Pedro, thank you for everything that you did here in Granada. and we will going on following to you in Maccabi. As Pedro said, I wish for you the best, not in EuroLeague because I want to win the Real Madrid, but at least the Final Four is okay.
Well, I'll see you win the championship, my boy. Not having me and my team, you know what I mean? But thank you guys. I appreciate it because not a lot of people give players their flowers. A lot of people, they're so judgmental. A lot of people that really don't understand the business of basketball. They just think that a player is supposed to stay at the same level his whole life. And you know what I mean? When he get these opportunities, like you said, Pedro, from you know what I mean, you don't just become the CEO one day. It's different steps that you have to take to get there. And me, I worked my ass off. I put in the work 3 years ago. I was an all-star in the Champions League. Last year I was at Zenit. This year I'm here in Maccabi. So you know what I mean? I've been up and down. I've never started at the top. I'm a player that worked my way up. And I won't be denied for nothing or nobody because I know my purpose here on earth and in the game. I don't cheat the game in no way. You know what I mean? I wish that the results would have been better in Granada because I really gave my all to those people and those fans every single night. Like I'm going home after playing 33, 35 minutes a night, exhausted. You know what I mean? Exhausted. I'm going home and watching film, and sometimes I'm calling my mother back at home with tears in my eyes because I can't understand how we aren't winning. You know what I mean? I had that much frustration and at one point in time this season in Granada, like I'm calling my mother back at home with tears in my eyes because I can't believe that we're losing. I don't understand why it's happening to me. I just I just don't understand. I'm not cheating the grind, but God has something. He has something that can't be denied. Once he closed one door, he opens another one, and you know what I mean. I'm a fan. I'm a big believer in you get in what you put out. If you put in the work, then you won't be denied. You know what I mean. As long as you prepare for the opportunity, when you meet that opportunity, if you prepare for it, then you know what I mean? You're going to be outstanding. And that's what Petro gave me. That's what Granada gave me. They gave me the platform to be the player and the man that I am. They took care of my family. They put my children through an amazing education curriculum. And I want to thank them for that. So from my family to Granada, it's nothing but love for the people, for the fans, for the city, and for the team. I really pray that the team, I really hope that the team, I'm following the team, I'm watching the games live. You know what I mean? I'm taking the time to watch the games live. I talked to Elias before he went there. He called me and said, you know what I mean, JT, what should I do? I said, Elias, go there.
Yeah.
Go there.
Thank you
Go
for
help.
that.
Go
Thank you
go
for
help.
that.
I mean, but I mean, so I'm all in for Granada, even though I'm still not a part of the team right now. I'm rooting for Granada before I root for any other teams in the ACB.
Thank you very much, Joe. And I
Thank you
don't
very
think there
much.
is any other way better to end our interview. Thank you again. Good luck in your season. Good luck this summer with Georgia, and we will always keep you in our prayers, as you say. And we hope that I hope that you win the EuroLeague. That will be a hell of an end of the season. So good luck. Good luck for the Champions League, and get the 2 rings.
Thank you very much.
B. Petro, salute. Thank you guys. Love.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe. Take care. Good luck. Bye bye.